Happy Sunday, everybody. How's it going? Oh, excuse me. I just ate a bagel. I always eat too fast, and then I feel like hiccupy and stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but everybody, how's it going? We're here. I usually am excited to start these streams, but if you're a part of the Discord and you've checked the Discord, the My Hero section of the Discord anyways, in the last week, you'll know that unfortunately I have been massively spoiled for this chapter. Mainly I didn't even feel like streaming. I was just like, I just know. I know exactly what happens. I know how the chapter ends. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this because today possibly can't be a reaction. So it might be like a live going through. I don't think I'll be reading through everything. I don't know. It feels odd to me. It feels odd. So we need to figure this out. I'm pulling up the chapter. Or I pulled up the chapter, excuse me. Let's get to it. I hate that I got spoiled. Ruined my whole... whenever I found out, it ruined my day. Alright. I have no enthusiasm. I'm trying. I genuinely am trying. I have no enthusiasm to read this chapter. On stream anyways. It was expected, true, but it still takes away from the fact of I do a lot, not for me. I'm just talking for me. I don't care if it's the most apparent thing. If I know, for me it takes the excitement away. It's the reason why I do these live streams. I want to share I want to be able to rewatch it and see the progressive thoughts as I get to, oh snap, that happened. I had it robbed. I had it robbed from me. So even though I said exactly what was going to happen last week. I literally 4 or 5 times during the stream. I was like, dude, the missiles are going to drop. There's a possibility that one or both of them, they survive, and Shiggy's regeneration is going to pop, and he's going to slap his hand on her face and take the quirk. I said that last week. It's it's clear that's what was going to happen, but anything could have happened. Anything could have possibly happened. So it just sucks to see that early. What's up, Julian? What's up, Chris? It just sucks to see. It just sucks that I just happen to I don't follow it. The thing that bothers me is I don't follow any person on Instagram even remotely close to my hero. It's because now on Instagram they have this oh, if you follow this person, check out these people. And because I followed someone that draws, it recommended me a channel on my home, not even going to the search section. It was the first thing I seen when I opened up Instagram. Because you followed this person, check out this. And it was just bam, the final 2 panels of the chapter. I'm just like, what? Come on, man. Piss me off. But we're gonna get through this. Let me get a... Yeah, I hate it. It really, it was the first thing. I woke up, brushed my teeth, washed my face, popped my phone open, and boom, I'm like, my day's over. My day's ruined. I was like, I could fight somebody. All right, let me get over myself. Let's do this. Just admit it already. You ain't the greatest at boosting your own power star. Though at a glance, my quirks seem capable of anything. There was always a hard limit when it came to powering myself up. No matter what sort of rule I tried, it never worked out just right. Those who know me those who know me well. I forgot I can't do that. Those who know me well would say, at the end of the day, quirks reflect what's on the inside. After all, maybe it's because Cassie is a girl. Oh, wow. That has nothing to do with it, Star. That's just how your quirk is. When it's not enough, use us to pick up the slack. That's how bros roll. I like these guys. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. I hate it. It feels lawless. I mean, what you're packing is plenty for now. But the problem is you're comparing yourself to All Might. True story. But she's the only one who has a chance of catching up to the big man. Yeah, because they're both beasts. I feel like my boy. You guys can see him? Wrong way. You see him back there? I can't tell. I'm blind. Hold on. Give me a second. See him back there? Oh, you don't. He's out of frame. My boy Lemillion back there has something to say. But I like that smile. I always hated those words, but they never once said that to me. Yeah, they're gonna nuke him. Ah, here they come. You gonna try to touch those hypersonic powder kegs? Yeah, but that'll mean undoing my laser rule. When I do, you boys take over with concentrated firepower. She must know that this isn't doing much to me. She must know that this isn't doing much. Alright. Zoom in. This united laser blast is only meant to stun lock me via relentless damage. All of which tells me she realizes that without a single attack powerful enough to vaporize me into nothing, it's all pointless. Is she waiting for something? Something packing an even bigger punch than this? If this amalgamation of characters figures out that nukes are incoming, they're crazy. All right. Roger that, Star. We'll be sure to keep his hyper regen busy while you switch over to the big booms that really bring the pain. Damn it. It's almost like a shitty game. And he's like, no, couldn't be. And yet she must have a way. A make or break moment for both of us of hot potato. What's up, Madman? Look at that. That's crazy. But also, if he's going through this constant just beam of an attack, his regen is crazy. Here's the countdown. 3, 2. Oh, those are the missiles. She's gonna grab them. 3, 2, 1. Oh, hold on. Oh, wow. That makes so much more sense. When the dude last week was like, they're called Tiamat. He had to name them so that she could... he had to name the missiles in order for her to apply an order to it. It just clicked. It just clicked when I seen this. That's why he's like, they're called Tiamat. Okay. Now, before these things rip my arm off at the elbow. New order. Tiamat is redirected. As long as the rule applies to even a single missile. Dog, you see how fast he's moving in that instant? That's him, right? That's I guess I could call him Shiggy. Shiggy, right? I see eyes. I can't wait to see this animated. This is gonna be nuts. Oh, that panel. State of the art hypersonic intercontinental cruise punch. That's really cool seeing her down there. Man. I can't wait to see this stuff animated. This stuff is going to be crazy. It's just shockwaves. How's that? Look how far away they are. They're far, but not that far. I'll say that. They're far, but not that far. Wait. Did he burrow down? Hold on. I thought he shot up. Did he shoot up or did he burrow down? Hold on. He burrowed down. Wait. Yep, I saw this panel. I seen another panel after it, and then I seen the final panel. I seen this panel. Oh man. I would be looking at this like this guy's a freaking fiend. I can control what my decay affects. No, he didn't. Hold on. No, he didn't. I knew she was preparing something big for me. Our little back and forth thus far told me New Order can only affect two things at once. So I also knew that the situation was about to shift. The instant that shift came, I wasted no time in using decay to tunnel into the earth. If I'd run and hid before something big hit, she would have caught me in the act and adapted. It was a gamble that relied on exact timing. Look at the little smiley face. A second's delay would have been a fatal error. He used the Nomu as a decoy. That's what flew up. I'm just playing along with your nasty game of hot potato. This man burrowed into the earth to avoid this impact. Like a freaking mole. I can't believe it. Okay. Star needs support. Back into formation. Give her a place to stand. Yeah, she's just like... she's just out to dry right now. Up against anyone but me, that move would have finished the job. But you came up short for once. And you're taking that loss to the... not on my watch. Now burst. The Nomu exploded. Did the Nomu explode? Ah, that's scary. I didn't see that's scary. Oh man. Okay, what happened? I think the Nomu did explode. And in an instant that it exploded, here he comes. Better make use of your resources. Look how fast his decay, not his decay, his regen. Look at what his face looked like on that panel, flying out of the hole. And look at where it is now. That's fast. That is really fast. Sock it to a star. Because after all that damage, it's not enough. He's regenerating too quickly. Hold on. Don't have to worry about it. I know. I seen that last panel. My craft going boom should blow him to bits. Self-destruct? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Do it now, Star. Is she gonna really implode? Oh snap. I think now we can gauge how big of a person she is. I wonder how hard he slammed into her face. You think he grabbed her face really hard? But if he takes her quirk, he knows enough about the quirk to the point where say if that explosion is enough to kill him, the blowing up the ship, say if it is enough to kill him, he knows enough about the quirk that he could activate the quirk and then tell the explosion not to work on him, right? Can he do that? Especially how fast he's thinking. I'm certain that how fast he's been thinking, he could do that. It depends on if he's not recognizing the fact that she's gonna go kaboom. We'd have to touch the explosion first. So it's like it goes boom, he touches it, and in that split second he activates it. He'd take some damage, but it wouldn't be enough to kill him. I feel like he's gonna survive perfectly fine. But we also can gauge how big Star is based on just the perspective of him launching up to her. So how tall is Shigaraki? Wiki. My Hero. Is there? Wait. I wonder if the wiki has something like a page built for Star and like stuff like that. I wonder. Shigaraki. Does it give his height? How tall is he? He's 5'9", so Shigaraki's the same height as me. She's she's huge. She's huge. If Shigaraki's 5'9", and he looks like a child jumping into his mother's arms, she's huge. She's pretty big. Like one of her legs is two of his legs. Matter of fact, her leg is bigger than his body. She's beefy. If he's 5'9", Star is like legit. If I really had to gauge this, Star's like legit 7 feet. Something crazy. Let me check the wiki if there's something built for Star. It was there and it's gone. Yeah, there's none of that stuff is there for her. She's like legit 7 feet. If not 7, she definitely seems like she's bigger than Endeavor. Taller. Because Endeavor is like 6'3", 6'4"-ish. And I'm just going off my own personal experiences. 6'3", 6'4" is not. Like standing next to it, it doesn't look like this. She's big. She is big. And should have known something terrible was going to happen to her. We got flashback at the start of the chapter. We go to the start. How long did it take me to do this? I didn't think it'd take me long to go through this chapter. No, it's been like 20 minutes. I just noticed that this guy is he's an animal. With All Might stuff, just put her a bit shorter than him, I think. Yes, All Might's like 7 something. So I think she's like, if not 7 feet, 6'9" to 11. I'll give her that. She's like 6'9" to 11. All Might's like 7'4" or something. Literally like the size of Yao Ming. Something crazy. I like the stuff at the beginning though about her, like, because we got to see from the last couple of chapters, just from her dialogue with these pilots, that they're just not, no, they're not regular pilots. It's not like she went to an army base and was like, hey, like it wasn't that. It was like you could tell that they had some sort of relationship. And it even, like, I didn't even think about her actually being a part of the military. I kind of like, I don't know how heroism and hero work is done in the States, but I don't know why I didn't think she would so the show's over, right? What do you mean? I'm confused. I didn't think she would be a part of the military. I think it's cool that she's a part of the military. I'm confused, Julian. I'm sorry. I'm scatterbrained today. If Shiggy gets New Order, dude, I guess so. The only way that, me personally, I feel like I think the second's quirk, if Shigaraki does indeed get New Order and he steals it from her and survives this self-destruct, the second's quirk has to be busted. That's the whole thing. There's a reason why Hori is still holding off on telling us what the second's quirk is, because right now he doesn't have a game changer quirk. Like Fajin is almost game changer, but not too much. he still has, that would be crazy. But Fajin, like, it's not like he could, like, if Fajin was something he could just conjure up, if he didn't have to actually move in order to build up the that kinetic force, it'd be a little bit different. But he has to at least have some sort of movement in order to build it up. But the second's quirk has to be something crazy. There's a reason why it's the last one. It's a reason why it's the last one. And I feel like along with that quirk, we're going to get more story into All For One, because the second and third lived in the same time as his name's, I can never remember the first user's actual name. It's not Shinichi, it's something. It's something. Is it Shinichi? No, it's not. What the heck? I remember it, you guys tell me, I forget it. What is his name? It's something like that. Gosh. One for all. Yoichi, thank you. I feel they're definitely Yoichi Shigaraki. There's 100% going to be a huge moment with the second's quirk, just because of his relationship to Yoichi, the time period he lived in, the fact that just him and the second users, like, their status in that time period. So it might be something crazy. I think just giving Deku laser beams would just be like, okay, Deku just has he has offensive quirks, defensive quirks, maneuverability. Like he looks like he could be the perfect build to something that's crazy, adding the stockpiling onto it. But I feel like he needs something that's just going to make him busted. Because right now, Shigaraki is busted. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Without New Order, Shigaraki's busted. So, unless I don't know. Unless it makes me feel like the second be atomic energy or radiation. That would be good for regeneration. It's the second's quirk is either going to be busted, or there's a possibility that Deku can reach a point in which New Order wouldn't work against him, because if we're thinking about it, wouldn't Deku and how One for All is working inside of him? Well, no, because it's only working because it's only New Order's not working because Shigaraki literally doesn't know what he is anymore because there's too much going on in his head. I was gonna try to use that as a parallel, like the same thing is happening with Deku. It's just like Deku clear cut knows what he is, but could it be possible that New Order doesn't work on Deku as well because there is 8 different people living inside of him at the same time? So could it not work? I wonder. I wonder. The second quirk could be against regeneration. Maybe. I don't want it to be something that is so on the nose, because if it's something that is that on the nose, then it could just be like, why did Hori write it like that in the first place? He could have wrote it differently, right? Why go through it? It would be convoluted at that point. Why have us go through all of these side missions on Star and getting all this stuff and all this crap if we're just gonna make one of the users' quirk negate that? I feel like it should be something else. I don't know. It would just feel convoluted. It'd feel like we wasted a bunch of time doing all of this. Like we set up all of this Shigaraki regeneration stuff for it to just mean nothing. So I would want the second quirk to be something else. I think it's because he has the big gauntlets. I think laser beams is like an easy, like, sure, laser beams, but I wanted to be something that is just like unexpected. Like Fajin was something that was unexpected. If we use our thinking caps, wow, I haven't heard thinking caps since elementary school, but if we really put our thinking hats on, the second and the third user, they knew each other, right? They fought together. I think we can surmise all of these things. Like they fought together, they worked together, they at least did some things together, right? At some point in time, Yoichi, the second and the third user, worked together. They did some things together. Is it safe to assume that? You know what's crazy? You could kind of look at Yoichi, the second and the third user, like Bakugo, Shoto, and Deku. A little bit. The three of their quirks, all of their quirks together, they work very well together. So it's making me feel like if the third user had Fajin, what, like, you would choose to work with someone that you either got along with or you had a good compatibility with. So what kind of quirk would become very compatible with Fajin, with the buildup of kinetic energy? Like what quirk would be, what ability, what power could work well with that? Excuse me. Small theory around previous Horikoshi works has gauntlets / gloves on with the power of weapon creations. I think barrage. Yeah, I read the first chapter of that. It's the kid, right, with the spiky hair. The power of weapon recreation. It's a cool idea. I wonder how Deku would use that. Weapon recreation. I'm all for sword users. Give Deku a sword. But I don't know. That's a cool idea. I can see it for that guy too. I can kind of see it for him. Now that I'm thinking about it, laser beams could work. Because we know Hori is he's a big comic book fan. So like what if the laser beams that the second had is similar to Cyclops' joints? Cyclops is one of the strongest mutants. What is a sword gonna do? I don't know, but if it's a sword powered by One For All, that's different. That is different. Like imagine if we get a fully 100% Deku wrapping his arm in Black Whip while conjuring a sword made from the second's ability, supercharged, hypercharged by One For All. Dog, you got something crazy right there. You got something crazy right there. Pretty much. Give Deku a lightsaber, or he likes Star Wars. I wouldn't be surprised if Deku got a lightsaber. He likes Star Wars so much. Deku is Spider-Man. Hori loves Spider-Man. I'm not surprised. Also, don't be surprised if Shigaraki in All For One turns into like a gigantic like Akira monster. Just because I found out that Akira is Horikoshi's favorite series ever. It's his favorite series ever. I actually have documented proof. It's in a book back here. It's his favorite series ever. So don't be surprised if it if something like that happens. If we get some sort of like abomination monster. I can see it happening. Hori likes so many things. You can really go anywhere. You could really go anywhere with it. He likes so many different things. So it's like you can give like Deku could end up weapon creating and getting a lightsaber. You can give him laser beams and they could be similar to Cyclops. I don't know. Yeah. It's his Akira's his favorite thing ever. Like I have the book right here. Hold on. Oops. Hold on. I got it from the My Hero movie. They did a Q&A. Not that many people were here last week, so I read all the Q&As. I dropped my capture card. Oh gosh. What the heck? Okay. Right here. Not that many people were here last week, but they had asked Hori like 25 questions about the series. And the last 3, they said we had a surprise at the end. The last 3 just were about like his personal life and stuff. So where's the Q&A section at? Oh gosh. Like I think the question was like what is something that's like your Bible? And he was like Akira. Like that's what's crazy. Like they said like what's like your Bible? And he said Akira. Here it is. Right here. Da-da-da. What are your top 3 favorite movies? Though the rankings change frequently, the current number 1 is Akira, number 2 is The Ring, and number 3 is Spider-Man Far From Home. And what book is like a Bible to you? And it says Akira. Right there. Yeah. I was spoiled Dexter, so it wasn't as exciting as it could have been. Oh yeah, Madman, totally. But Black Whip being utilized to be a weapon and actually creating a weapon are 2 different things. So If you can instead of using Black Whip to be a weapon and you can actually conjure a weapon, why not conjure a weapon and then use Black Whip to support the conjured weapon? Just because you can do something with one thing doesn't mean you can't have the ability to make a better thing. I'm not saying that's not even my theory. That's Distorted's theory. I don't know what it could be. Yeah. We're all looking like he loves DC, he loves Marvel, he loves Star Wars, but Akira is his main inspiration. I loved it. Me personally, I had a talk with a friend and we thought differently. But as far as movies go, like movie structures, I love all three My Hero movies. I own them all. Well, I don't own World Heroes Mission, but when it comes out, I will own it. I own all Heroes Rising and 2 Heroes in multiple forms. Like I have hard copies, I have digital copies and disc copies of both movies. But those 2 movies, in my opinion, feel like long episodes. World Heroes Missions. World Heroes Mission feels like a movie to me. So on the terms of movies, I put it as my favorite movie because it feels like a movie. What webcam do I use? I have the Logitech C920. Is that the name of it? It's this one. I think it's the C920. But there's the C920 like Pro, and then there's another one that is that has come out since then. Even good as butt Chris, he would be able to possibly give a better answer, but I know Best Buy, I've seen it. They have the newest Logitech camera with a Blue Yeti attached to it for like $90. And the camera alone, this webcam alone cost me like $120. So if you can go to a Best Buy and see if that bundle is still there, I'd pick that up. It's the newest webcam, so it would give you good quality. Yeah, I really liked World Heroes Mission. I liked I don't know if I want to talk spoilers just yet, because there might be some people at this. No, it's out of the theaters now. So do I want to talk spoilers and ruin it for somebody? I don't want to be that guy. But I really liked what's his name? Oh man. I know his quirk is Pino. Rhodey. I always wanted to call him Rudy. Rhodey. Spoilers. See, I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna spoil. I liked Rhodey a lot. For a new character, I really enjoyed him. I really liked his story. I wish, if we're being honest, I feel like the movies do a good job introducing you to one new character that you really like. Like, I would love it if Melissa was actually a part of the story. Like, she fits so well into the story, just write her in at this point. I feel like she'd be able to be a good, reliable resource to Deku. Like, she could be she could just be someone that he could just like reach out to and just like figure some stuff out, and she can like airdrop stuff you don't know. So like, I feel like, and then is his name Katsuma, right? The little boy with the his name's Katsuma. I forgot his sister's name, but I think his name's Katsuma. I really like him. He's adorable. So I would love it if we could, if Katsuma could just move over to Japan, and he could get taken into someone else's care, and we can see him and Eri grow up, because they have 2 crazy powers. And Rhodey, Mahoro, there we go. I really enjoyed Rhodey, man. I really enjoyed his character. Like, everything he did made sense. I was like, in stories, I'm usually like mad at somebody whenever they do some things, but when Rhodey was doing things, I didn't get mad at him, because I knew he went through hell. And he's like, anything it's just I really enjoy Rhodey. I really did. And I thought the story was pretty cool too. I would have loved to see more of like the infiltrations. We only got to see the first scene of the infiltration. I wish we would have got to see a little bit more. I know because for some reason, if a movie doesn't have jokes and it doesn't have action in it, people don't like it. So I know the middle part of this movie, people were like, it sucks. I don't even have to go on the internet to know that. But I just know that the middle part of the movie was probably super slow for some people and they didn't like it. I personally enjoyed it because I got to see Deku in a way that we never got to see him before, outside of like fighting and doing Deku things. Like we got to see him just like him and Rhodey just cool it. I really enjoyed it. I really did. I think how I had said it in my stream when I first got out. For me, and I didn't know that a lot of people didn't like the ending to Heroes Rising with the whole quirk transference. I didn't know a lot of people didn't like that until I came on here, and a lot of people were like, it's okay. But I feel like the high in this movie isn't higher than the high from the last movie. Like coming out of the theater, I was like, man, like the ending was incredible. Like I think it was better than the last movie. And then I rewatched Heroes Rising since watching World Heroes Mission, and I was like, nah, for me, the ending of that movie hits so right. Like it hits so crazy upon watching it again. Having Might Yu playing it hit crazy. It hit crazy. So I will say the high in Heroes Rising is higher than the one in this one. But I will say, for me personally, the lows in this movie is not lower than the lows in Heroes Rising. Because the lows in Heroes Rising for me is the fact that it just feels like a long episode. Like it feel like the Heroes Rising and Two Heroes, they look good. But they look like My Hero episodes, just giving a little bit more budget. World Heroes Mission looks like a movie from start to finish. It looks like a movie, just like how it's framed, everything. It looks like a movie. So for me, that's where it's just like you can chop up World Heroes Mission. You can chop that. You can't chop this up and make it feel like a bunch of episodes. But for me, you can chop up Two Heroes and that could be like 5 or 6 episodes. You can chop up Heroes Rising and it could be like 5 or 6 episodes. But with this movie, you can't do it. It's framed so well. Dude, the freaking chase scene when Deku's like flying around all everywhere, I was like, oh my goodness. And one thing with this movie, my anime only friend asked me, he was like, because of how Heroes Rising had like the whole, if you paid attention, the movie told you that Deku had multiple quirks. So he asked me, he was like, is there anything in this movie that's in the manga? And I was like, no. And I was like, well, because he's like the biggest Spider-Man fan I know. I was like, all the Deku Spider-Man stuff, that's stuff he does in the manga. Like coming up, you'll see it. And he's like, yes. He's like, yes. But it's crazy. He's such a big Spider-Man fan. He got a tiny spoiler and he's told me the rest of he hasn't read forward. But because Hori has based Deku so much on Peter Parker and a Spider-Man arc, he got a tiny spoiler and told me, like, he didn't tell me how the war was going to end because he doesn't know like the war is going to be like that. But he's told me the whole Dark Deku arc from front to back. And I was like, yeah, I was like, this is totally like a story. It's a Spider-Man arc. He told me the whole Dark Deku arc from front to back, like minus like the all for one metal, like the intricacies of the arc, but just like the plot points. He told it out to me. But I sidetracked. The main point I was going to say is that this movie, if you were catching it and you were paying attention as a manga reader, It's just a lot of things which is like, well, that doesn't make sense. And it just was for the visual. When Bakugo was fighting, what are they called? The Serpenters? They're back here. When Bakugo was fighting the Serpenters, and the Serpenter, oh, that's spoilers. Dang it. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to spoil. But there's like every single one, like Deku had the moment, Bakugo had a moment, Shoto had a moment. A lot of people had moments in this where it was exact panels from the manga. There were exactly, like, if you think back on it, think back on the Bakugo fight at the end. And if you think to a certain moment, it's an exact panel from the war. Think about the Todoroki fight. If you look back at the panel, it's an exact panel from the war. If you look, where's the Deku one? Because I spotted it. I watched it twice, by the way. I spotted it and I was like, that's exactly from the war. It was that's a spoiler. But if you watch the movie, it's right as he's landing. It's right at the end of the final blow. It's the big splash screen when he rushed Shigaraki and he had the crazy eyes. If you watch the Fleck fight again, you'll be able to see exactly that panel. You'll be able to see it. They just were throwing a bunch of panels from the manga in this movie. And if you don't read the manga, you don't know what you're looking at. It just looks cool. But if you read the manga, you're like, oh, that's all I was doing. Oh. That's all I was doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. And it made me feel like when we get to the anime in those parts, it's going to be crazy. I think they're called the Serpenters. Serpenters. I realize that I'm from the Northeast and I don't pronounce my T's. Yep, they're called the Serpenters. I do not pronounce my T's. I say Serpenters. Yeah, these guys. Ask me how I know that. I have no idea. Because I don't know anyone else's name, but I know their names. I thought, like, if the Fleck fight wasn't as crazy as it was, I thought Bakugo had the best fight. Again, Shoto doesn't have much. His fights were cool, but in his fights, he doesn't have much to do. Because at this current point in time, Shoto can do the most out of the three of them. Just raw power-wise. So it's just like, if you go too crazy, it'll take away from the others. I really enjoyed this movie. Yeah, someone's like, YouTuber said he fell asleep at that part. I really enjoyed that part. You want to know who was a baddie? That chick that was working with Endeavor. Endeavor always got... It makes me wonder, man. Endeavor just be pulling. Endeavor just be pulling. Her name's Clairvoyance. I was like, who is that? Her? And also, getting to see Salam and how he looks in live action. Not live action, in animation. Forgive me. How he looks, it made me wonder. I was like, whenever you've seen him in a panel, it's like, I wonder if that guy actually looks like that. Sure enough, he actually looks like that. It's pretty cool. Also, I didn't tell my friend, I was like, you're looking at a lot of the top heroes from other countries. I just didn't tell him that. You know what I will say about this movie? No. I feel like 9 is the best movie villain, because I feel like 9 could have been an actual arc in the manga. I feel like 9 could have been a villain that Deku fought in the manga. Like a prep battle for Shigaraki. I feel like that would have been a cool thing. Give him someone that's kind of like Shigaraki, but not like Shigaraki. See if Deku could beat him. Let Deku beat him. And then power Shigaraki up some more. So 9 is my favorite movie villain. Fleck didn't have much to do. He just felt like we got like a little glimpse of him, and it was like, okay, cool. Fleck felt like he was just if we're being honest, like almost all the women in My Hero look good. Almost all of them do. She was bad though. What was her name? Barros. Her name is Barros. She I like how he looks. But I wish we could have gotten a little bit more from him. You get what I mean? I don't think he was a bad villain at all. I feel like if we had more time, I could have liked Fleck more than 9. But because we had a limited amount of time with him, I'll put 9 just above him because we spent quite a bit of time with 9 in Heroes Rising. Like we got to see 9 doing like instead, like all the Flex stuff was just like talking to his men. Like 9 was like putting in work. Plus he was wearing a suit. I guess it's the suit too. But is it just me or is Betos just a worse version of Nagant? First time I seen Betos, I was like, this is just like a worse version of Nagant. That's what it felt like. That's what I felt like. This whole movie just felt like a big, like this movie felt like if I had the if they came to me and said, you can make a movie for my hero. Here's the brief guidelines. You can't do this because of X, Y, and Z. Right? You can't do this. You can't do that. I would just be like taking stuff from the manga and just throwing it in the movie a little bit differently. So it's like, oh, I can't have Nagant. What about someone that can turn their hand into a bow and arrow? Yes, got it. That's me. That's what it feels like. That's what this movie feels like. It's partly the reason why I like it. This is totally, there's so many manga references in this movie. Deku and Megamind were throwing hands. They was getting it in, man. They were getting it in. One thing I will like, and it's very consistent between movies, they always give Shoto the monstrosity to fight because the monstrosities have multiple quirks. And since Shoto naturally has multiple quirks, they always throw it at him as like a reflection of himself. Very consistent, but I like it. I do know a lot of people, I was told this from 2 of my friends that watched the movie. They didn't understand. They were like the Deku fight just felt like a lot of flashing things. It just felt like a lot of flashing things. They didn't understand what was happening. Like at the end when Deku is, I'm not going to say, but I'm just like, that's his reflecting thing going kaboomy, right? That's what it was. They didn't know what was happening because of all the colors. Like when Deku would rush in, it'd be bang, and then it'd be like wham, and then boosh. Like it was like it. Matter of fact, I was saying this in the movie and then forgot it, but the Deku and Fleck fight is a exact. It's almost an exact replication of All Might versus the Nomu. Almost. It's the same. It has the same like start, like from when it goes crazy. When it goes crazy, start, middle, end of that 30 seconds of the finale of that fight. I'm talking like the finale of the fight, not the whole fight. It's the reason why that certain music, like we haven't heard that song since. It's hard to talk about this movie without spoiling. When's the last time you heard Yusei Run? Like actual Yusei Run, not Jet Set Run, not Might You. Like when's the last time Yusei Run has played in My Hero? It's been seasons, right? If I'm correct, it's been literal seasons since Yusei Run's been used because to me Yusei Run has always felt like All Might's theme. Like that's All Might's theme. Jet Set Run is Deku's theme. So the fact that Yusei Run played instead of Jet Set Run made me feel like oh, they're that's why I felt like this movie was just someone had the ability to make a My Hero movie, and they just was taking everything from My Hero and jamming it into this movie and just making a cool narrative throughout it. That's what it felt like. Because Yusei Run has never played for Deku ever. No, Yusei Run has never played for Deku in the entire series, if I'm remembering correctly. It's always Jet Set Run, or it's a new special song that's created for the season. Hell, Jet Set Run hasn't been used since season 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Yusei Run hasn't played since like season 2 or something. Like might use a variation of Yusei Run. Jet Set Run is a variation of Yusei Run. But Yusei Run itself hasn't played in a long time. In a long time. If I'm remembering, Jet Set Run hasn't played since Deku Unlocked Shoot Style, right? I'm trying to think if I've heard it since then, and I don't think I have. Because season 4 was Might U. Season 5 we didn't get anything. Like we used a lot of Endeavor's themes. Like wasn't it like the Kono something, so I've Kono no Chikarada. That's what it is. That's like Endeavor's theme, and then it's remixed into Shoto's theme as well. But it's been, I'm sorry, I'm digressing. It's just been so long since we've heard a lot of these songs that are supposed to be themes for these characters, but it's like, yeah, it's like, I know, like I would love to hear Yusei Run more too, but for me it makes sense why we haven't heard it in a while. So the fact that they played it for Deku over his own theme, it's crazy. Yeah, those are my World Heroes missions thoughts. I really liked it. Oh, there was one question from the Q&As, because the Q&As had a bunch of like throwaway questions. They always give the worst people opportunities to ask questions. Like you always be like when I'd be watching like Comic-Con panels, people just be asking the dumbest questions. Like you can ask anything. You ask that. So a lot of these questions in this Q&A were like dumb questions. Like the first one was a cool one. Like which pro hero is All Might close to? I was like, that's a cool question. And the answer is he's not close to any pro hero. But Hori did confirm that him and Aizawa do actually have like a cool friendship that they've been building up since he stopped being All Might. Like someone was asking, like someone asked, like, what do people think about Deku's t-shirts? Like what part of Ojiro is not normal? What does Aizawa do on his days off? Like stupid questions. Like these, I would have been asking hard questions. Like I would rather ask a question and someone look at me and be like, I can't answer it, than for you to give me some stupid answer for a dumb question. Like someone asked about the rooms of the kids we didn't get to see, and Hori said that he was like, I just ran out of time, I couldn't show him. Someone asked about the ball that Ochako threw in the when they were testing their quirks in season 1. Like, is it still floating? It's like, no, she deactivated it. Who makes Aoyama's lunches? Like, stupid questions. But there was one question in here where I was like, aha, I like that one. Like someone asked, like, how would Ida feel What if Kami turned into Ida with her quirk? It's just stupid stuff. The question should be, what would happen if Toga took Ida's quirk? That's a question. They didn't ask that. A cool one was someone asked if Hagakure, Invisible Girl, or Shoji would ever have their faces revealed. And Hori said Shoji's face will be revealed, but Hagakure he's still not sure about if he's ever gonna show what Invisible Girl looks like. There was a question that I was like, that was a good question. Someone asked who's the hero. So you know how like there's the heroes who look like villains ranking. Someone asked who's number one, and he was like Endeavor is. So Endeavor is the number one hero and the number one hero that looks like a villain. The funniest question, someone was like, this question 21. Hawks likes to eat yakitori. Does Tokoyami like chicken? And then Hori was like, he doesn't mind it. What a heartless question. That one was funny. Now the question that really was really interesting. It was two of them, question 17 and question 22. I'll read 17 first. If the students in the hero course at UA High School fight without using their quirks, who's the strongest? First word. Well, let's guess. I'd like to see this. Let's see what you guys think. If you don't use your quirk, who's the strongest in UA? In the hero course. No quirks. When I was reading this, I was like, of course. Makes sense. Let's see if you guys could guess it. It really puts into perspective of things. Dun dun dun. It's pretty cool. No guess. It's Mirio. It's Mirio. And question 22 was, can you tell us one secret about My Hero Academia that you can share only here? And the secret, and I was like, this is really cool. The secret was the AI used in UA robots and others, like, so all AI that we ever see in the My Hero universe, they had a robot rebellion in the past. So the answer is the AI used in UA robots and others once rose in rebellion. So there was an actual robot rebellion that humanity fought back and then subjugated and forced them to be training bots. I think that's the coolest question that anyone could have asked. Which are why the robots are always so hostile in the training, and they're saying the craziest things. Yeah, like I thought I think that was the coolest answer we got from a question. So it makes me wonder, when did the robots rebel? Like at what point in time, like during quirks did because I'm trying to figure out like how advanced the society is, because it was like society was normal, and then quirks happened, and then society changed and now society is kind of normal again, as normal as it could possibly be in a superhuman society. So it's like, if we compare it to our current world, things seemed like, when they showed that the glowing baby, the very first person to have a quirk, things look modern, right? It didn't look like the 60s or the 70s or the 80s. It looked modern. And we know that the first quirk at the most 200 years ago, something like that, because All For One and Dr. Garaki are both 150 plus. So, and I think they were among the first generation of quirk users, like the very first generation of quirk users. So, I think at the most 200 years. This is off topic, but I think All For One is Deku's dad. And he's just waiting for All Might to die to tell Deku, so he can give him that one bad day. You think so? Think so? I feel like, I think that can work, but I don't know why All For One would wait for All Might to be dead. Why not? Because we seen how effective it was. We seen how effective it was to tell All Might that Shigaraki was Nana's grandson, and how much of an impact that it had. And if not for Gran Torino, All Might would have screwed up the whole Camino. He would have screwed everything up in Camino if not for Gran Torino being there. So why not antagonize All Might even more and tell All Might that I am that boy's father? That boy that you gave your quirk to is my son. Why not tell him that? I feel like that would be more damning than the whole, like we know how much he cares about Nana and what he thinks about Nana. So finding out that like that was a huge thing. But we know how much he feels about Deku. We know how much he feels about Deku. So if being the grandson of your master was that impactful, imagine telling like this boy that you chose as your successor is my child. That's something I feel like I would use that. I feel like that wouldn't, I don't know. I feel like telling Deku that All Might was his daddy. That All Might was his dad after he died would hurt more than telling Deku that he is his dad after he dies. That's what I'm thinking. I know because All Might doesn't have the quirk anymore, but I'm just saying, like, just that statement, I feel like waiting until All Might dies to tell Deku that, I don't think it hits. I feel like that's something that would hit more if All Might was still alive, even though All Might will always be alive because he's inside of One For All. So like we'll be able to have that reaction from All Might regardless. But like I feel like that'd be something that would hit with All Might still being there. Because at that point you would then have Deku would have to see All Might again. He'd have to see him again, and that would just burn even more. If All Might's not there anymore, I feel like it's just like, okay, whatever. Cool, he's his daddy. We've been thinking about that forever. I feel like telling Deku that All Might is his daddy after All Might dies. That would be impactful. Like that, he's your dad. It makes no sense. But I just like the shock of it. Like it's like at any point in time, I could have told you who your dad was. Like what if I don't know. But like Inko never made any note of it. Nothing. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not putting any stock behind that. I'm just saying, like, that shock factor. I don't think All Might's death impacts telling Deku about who his father really is. I feel like that doesn't. All Might's death has nothing to do with that, unless All Might was his dad. That's the only thing. I feel like the only way that All Might's death and All For One telling Deku that he's his father works is that All Might knew. If All Might knew this whole time, and he wasn't there to answer Deku's questions, then that's the one thing. That'd be a hell of a secret to hold on to, but that's at that point. I think that's the only reason why. I saw something moving. I'm losing it. That's the only reason or thing I can come up with that would make sense as to waiting for All Might to be dead. What if All For One's like, I'm All Might's dad? He's everyone's daddy, for crying out loud. Who knows? All For One could have been out there just going crazy. Do you think All For One? Do you think All For One was like Muzan? You think so? Or you think All For One just isn't interested in people like that? He only likes quirks. Like All For One is quirk sexual. You think that's the only thing? Do you think he? I don't know. I don't think about these things in regards to characters. I say the same thing about All Might. Like, was All Might just so focused on justice or anything that he has no family? He has no children. He has no person that he's fallen in love with, and he's like in his 50s, not a single soul. Are those things that he abstains from? Does he indulge in them now? I don't know. I don't think I've ever thought. Have I ever thought about that? I've thought about if All Might had family. But I don't think I've ever thought about that. You think? Well, are we talking about Shigaraki All For One or actual All For One? Because I feel like Shigaraki is gonna kill All Might. I still think Shigaraki gonna rack up the body count. He's gonna take out All Might. He's gonna take out All For One. He's gonna drop a few more bodies. Star's gone too. It's a wrap for her. He's gonna drop. I feel like his body count is just gonna continue to rise. So is Shigaraki All For One gonna do it, or is the actual All For One that's sitting on the throne? Is he gonna do it? Because I feel like it'll be a little bit different if actual All For One with the no face does it. Because anything that man says in that state with that body just feels more trollish. Because he's gonna be laughing and smiling at you with his potato face. If it's Shigaraki, then it's just like, oh snap, it's just Shigaraki's face. But I don't know. There's even All Might's gonna die, but there's a possibility that All Might doesn't die. You know what? I'm gonna say this prediction. I'm gonna get up out of here. I don't think Deku dies at the end of the series, even though I've come up with a theory however long ago, in which I think it'd be cool if he did die at the end of the series. I personally think it would be cool if story wise, if Deku died and he defeated All For One. He defeated All For One and he died in the process. Shigaraki as well. And he died in the process. And now All Might is just the tortured soul that has to continue living on. Like, he survived his battle with All For One. He survived all of this. And he survived his successor. And you leave him to be the one that has to live on. And the people that Deku have inspired have to live on in his memory. I think if we end, no shonen series is ever going to end like that. That's why it's not going to happen. But if there's a chance, this man would do it. If there's a chance, this man would do it. I really would like that. Just living on off of the memory of Deku and what he sacrificed to save everyone. Even his mentor. I think that junk would hit hard. No shonen series is going to end their series with killing their main character. Spoiler, but you know what series we're talking about. No series is going to end with its main character dead. No shonen series, I should specify. No shonen series, even more specific. And correct me if I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong. No shonen series and Weekly Shonen Jump is going to end its series with its main character dead. So it's just a cool idea that I have. I think it'd be cool, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I feel like that's a spoiler. Yeah, that's a spoiler. I was going to think about a way how I could spin it, but that's just outright spoiling an entire other series. Can't do that. It's not going to happen. But if My Hero did that, that junk could hit hard. Like, how... I'm just thinking of, like, hypothetical panel. Like, I would love a hypothetical panel of, like if Deku actually beat All For One, beat Shigaraki, rid the world of that quirk, of that international terror, got a statue made after him, and just, like, the hypothetical, like, final panel of, like, Ochako years later, like an adult Ochako, like, visiting his statue, and things are so much better than what they were before. Just visiting his statue, having, like, an inner monologue about it, or like or the whole class, like the final panel could be, or the final chapter could be, like, the whole class coming together 20 years or 30 years, or like an adult Eri or a Katsuma. Like, as an adult, they visit his statue. Like, I feel like that would hit, man. The fact that it's not going to happen, that won't happen. If that does happen, I called it. But that won't happen. But if it does happen, I'd love for an ending like that. I would love for an ending like that. Like an adult Eri or an adult Katsuma. Like, that would hit. That would hit so hard. That would hit so hard. Like I don't know, like the last chapter being something like Eri, like the last chapter being something like Eri's in school, or Eri's like a third year at UA, and she's like a part of the big three or something, and one of, like, a few of the people from 1A end up being teachers at UA. Like, I could see Kaminari being a teacher at UA. I could see something like something like that. And, like, he's like her homeroom teacher or something, and she's like off on hero studies, and she's doing her hero study with an older Aizawa or a Ochako, something like that. And then she goes and, like, they go and visit Deku's statue, and then the series ends like that. I think that'd be a cool ending. It'll never happen, but I think that'd be a cool ending. That would be a cool ending. Like they go to see the statue, Bakugo's already there or something. I'm in full fan fiction mode. I'm sorry. I'm getting out of here. I appreciate you guys. I had fun regardless of me being massively spoiled for this chapter coming into it. But I definitely had fun. I don't know where we go. I don't know where we go from this. There's like, he's either gonna snatch the quirk. Is there a possibility that the explosion could interrupt the quirk stealing? I don't know. I don't know. But we'll see. Appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Good rest of your Sunday. Have a good rest of your week. And I'm going to try my best not to get spoiled for next week. And I'll see you next Sunday for 333. So thank you again. Appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.